first ever Simpsons piece of media ever. It's called Good Night. You can find it on YouTube.
I have seen this. Yeah.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah, it's in the Simpsons 138 episode spectacular as well. It's only 2.5 minutes long. You can find it on YouTube. It's called Good Night, and it is just like you can see the idea of the Simpsons starting, but it's so different to what we will know it to become. The characters are drawn so much cruder.
I mean, it's creepy.
It's creepy. Yeah, it's very crude. It's almost like Tim Burton-esque. They're so different. Their faces are way bigger. I mean, Homer's voice is like an all-time, like the Walter Matthau impression. Nothing like what will go on to become. Yeah, he talks like this, and he's even slower than he is in season 1. But there's one bit where he laughs that I found interesting. Is Bart goes like, what is the mind? And Homer's like, oh, Bart, what is the mind? It doesn't matter. What does it matter? Never mind. But then he laughs. He goes, and that sounds like the classic Homer. So it's really, you get like a little hint of it.
It's interesting because you do like season 1 Homer and Tracy Ullman Homer, the impression better than you do actual Homer.
Oh really?
Actually,
No, that's upsetting. If I ever got to take over the voice, I'll just go back to the old school one. No, of course not. But yeah, I guess it's just easier because he talks really slowly. Whereas Homer from the show talks like this. He's all like crazy and Yeah, I guess so. What I think is the best bit of this short is fun, like experimental animation, and again, actually quite Tim Burton. As I think about it, it is dark and creepy. I guess it makes sense of having read Matt Groening's comic book Life in Hell. I think that is like more what he was interested in as a cartoonist. It's like kind of like dark humor. Obviously, when other writers came in, took over the show, like David Silverman as the director and Al Jean and Mike Reiss as the writers. They are kind of more into like goofy, kind of dark or wishy humor. Conan O'Brien as well, of course. So then it became kind of like more what you see the show as now. But he's like doing like rockabye. Marge is saying "Rockabye baby" on the treetop, and we're like seeing Maggie imagining it, and she's imagining like just that actual song playing out, basically. And it is like quite dark and creepy. It's like on a tree and it's falling down. It just make you realize like how dark that lullaby is. Like when the bough breaks, the cradle will rock, and she's like just plummeting to her death, basically. Yeah, that's definitely like the most like experimental, fun animation. And the last bit is just like all the kids coming into the Marge and Homer's room because they're terrified of like all the things that they told them, basically. And Marge and Homer's room is like one of the most different parts of the whole segment. The room looks nothing like the way we know it to be now. And the family come in and it's just all them in the bed together. It's very sweet, like final image, and a nice little thing to have seen been like the first ever piece of Simpsons media ever, and it's also the first episode of the Tracy Ullman Show. So like it dates way back. I got the year here, so it was April 19th, 1987 when this came out. So that's 2.5 years before the show came out. So long time. Yeah. So